You're welcome to Maths Hub S. Today we're going to look at how to find the equation of a circle. We know that the equation of a circle is given by, the general equation of a circle is given by x squared y squared plus 2 plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. So the general equation of the circle is of this form, right? We want to prove how to come out with this formula. So to get this formula, not to just memorize the formula, but to understand how we have this formula or we obtain this formula, we have a circle, as you can see. Then every circle has a center and then a circumference and a radius, right? So when we talk of the equation of a circle, we are simply talking about if you combine the parameters of the circle. In this case, the parameters of the circle has to do with the center, the radius, and the circumference, or the points on the circumference are the parameters of the circle. The parameters of the circle simply make up the circle, right? So if we are able to connect the parameters of the circle in such a way that at a particular point we have an equation, then we can call that equation the equation of the circle. So if the center of the circle has coordinates a, b, then the radius is the line extended from the circle, the center of the circle, to any point on the circumference. So the radius of the circle is a line extended from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference. That is what we call the radius. And we know that the radius is always a constant, that is the same across the entire circle. So if we have this, we can call this one r. R stands for radius. And then the point where the radius touches the circumference is here, and we can name that point x comma y. We can call that place x comma y. Since x and y varies depends on the point where they are located on the circumference of the circle. But generally, we use x and y to stand in for any point on the circumference of the circle. If we have it like this, what we can do is that we can decide to complete the radius to make it a right angle triangle. So we have completed our right angle triangle. What that means is that by Pythagoras theorem, we know that if you have a right angle triangle, then the hypotenuse square will be equal to opposite square plus adjacent square. In this case, the r becomes our hypotenuse. So that will be r square will be equal to the green line becomes the green line here. That's the green line here becomes our adjacent. To find the length of the adjacent, we take the x value here, the x coordinate here. In this case, the x coordinate here is traced. If we trace it down, we are getting the x coordinate here, and it's the x that we have at the top here. And then the x coordinate here, if we trace it down, it is the a. We trace that to x, we are getting a here, for that will be the x coordinate. So the a is the x coordinate and then the x is the x coordinate. So the difference become x minus a square, then plus the same way the y coordinate here is traced to this point. It's traced to the y-axis here, and then the y coordinate here is also traced to the y-axis here. And in that case, we are getting y to get the height. That is from the height here. The blue line is the height. or the opposite. To get the opposite, the length of the opposite, then we are getting here minus here, and that will be y minus b. So we have y minus b square. So this is basically what Pythagoras theorem is saying. It's saying that the hypotenuse square, in this case r square, is equal to opposite square, or is equal to adjacent square plus opposite square. And then adjacent square means the length of the green line here, and that is x minus a, then square plus y minus b square. So once we obtain that, we can now go ahead to expand what we have. So by expansion, we have r square is equal to, if we expand the bracket here, we are getting x square minus 2ax plus a square. And then we expand the y, we expand the other side, the y minus b square. By expansion, we are getting y square minus 2by plus b square. So that's what we have so far. And then we can proceed from here. We can rearrange it. R square is equal to x square. I'll bring all the squares together. So x square plus y square. Then I'll bring the x and y together. So here too, I'll bring minus 2ax. Then here at this point too, I'll bring minus 2by. And then I'll bring plus a. Then I'll add plus b. Sorry, a square and then b square. Good. So from here, if I want, I can rewrite it as x square plus y square minus 2ax minus 2by plus a square plus b square equal to r square. That means that I can rewrite this one as x square plus y square, then the negative 2ax, I can rewrite it as plus 2x in bracket negative a. Note that if I multiply the 2x by negative a, I'll come back to negative 2ax. But for the purpose of our calculation, we have factorized the 2x from the negative a. So here too, I'll do the same, minus 2y, plus 2y, then negative b in bracket, then plus a square, then plus b square equal to r. Then I'm going to say let negative a to be equal to g and negative b to be equal to f. So once I do that, that means that if I'm rewriting the equation, wherever I see negative a, I'm putting g there. Wherever I see negative b, I'm putting f there. So I have x square plus y square, then plus 2x, I'll put g there, and then plus 2y, I'll put f there, and then plus a square plus b square equal to r. X square plus y square plus 2x times g will be 2xg, and then plus 2yf, then plus a square plus b square equal to r square. Now, if you look at the general equation of the circle as we started, you can see that this place is 0. Here is 0. That means that we are going to send the r square we are to the left side of the equation. So here, we are simply sending this one to this side. So that means that we have x square plus y square. And then here, note that when you talk about multiplication, multiplication is commutative. So because of that, we are going to rearrange the 2xg as plus 2gx. And then here too, multiplication is commutative, so we are going to rewrite it as 2fy. And then here, we're going to say plus a square plus b square minus r square. Then here will be 0 since there's nothing there. Once you get there, note that this a here, the a that we have here, this is going to be a number, or it's a number which will be given to you, like the center. This is one of the coordinates of the center of the circle. So maybe the center of the circle is maybe 3 for the x and then 3 for the y, or it can be different numbers, maybe 1 and then 2, or -3 and then 4. So the center of the circle is going to be a number, and then the radius of the circle is also a number. And once they are numbers, we can compute them to get a number again. That is, if I have, what I'm saying is, if I have 1 plus 1, 1 is a number, 1 is a number, and I'll get 2, and 2 is also a number. Or if I have 2 times 4, I'm going to get 8. So 2 is a number, 2 is a number, 4 is a number. If I multiply them, I'll get 8, which is also a number. So all these ones are going to, they are numbers, and you are going to get from here to here are numbers, and you're going to get one single number for it, right? So that means that we are going to say let a square plus b square minus r square to be equal to a certain c, which means that if we operate the square of a and then the square of b and then the square of r, we are going to get a single number. So let's let that number to be c. And that means that x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy, then the whole of this is now the c, so you replace that one with plus c equal to 0. And then this equation is what we call equation of the circle. So equation of the circle. See you again in our next lesson. If you enjoyed it, you can just subscribe to the channel for more educative mathematics lessons.